currently live in Texas and think about making the move to Denver? Well, today we're going to tell you what that just might look like for you and give you some state-by-state comparisons so that you can know whether you're making a good decision. So, should we get to it?
Yeah, let's get right into it.
Okay, so people, of course, move all across states, interstates. Denver and Colorado as a whole is super desirable. We have a ton of people moving here, and one of the top states that people are moving into Colorado from is Texas. So whether you're coming from Texas, this is totally applicable to you.
Yeah.
But even if you're not and you're moving from another state, there might be some information in here that kind of just helps give you that information of what it's like to move here from another state.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So the first thing we learned is that the cost of living is approximately 13% higher in Denver than it is in the state of Texas.
Yeah, I think you hear about, Colorado's got this kind of reputation of being more expensive or super expensive, obviously depending where you're coming from. But when you look at the idea that it's 13%. One of the other things that we found in our research, according to ZipRecruiter.com, is that you actually get paid roughly about 13% more in your salary if you are employed in Colorado than you do if you're living in Texas.
Yeah.
So
Texas was about $52,000 a year, and Denver's just over $67,000. So
that's a wash.
yeah, it
That's
is
a
a
wash.
wash,
So
right?
you can come here. I'm sure Texas is great. No offense to Texas, but of course we're biased.
Yeah.
So you can come, move from Texas, live in Colorado, experience all the amazing things that Colorado has to offer, and essentially be a wash.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So not all expenses are higher in Denver than they are in Texas. There are some expenses that are lower, so it does kind of balance out. But when you go and look at things like state income tax, Texas does not have a state income tax. You're going to have a 4.4% state income tax in Colorado.
Yeah, so that's going to cost you a little bit more.
Yeah.
Obviously, housing prices are going to cost you more. That's obviously just a given, and I think if you're even potentially considering moving here, you're already going to know that. So that really shouldn't be a big surprise to you.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
yeah.
the average price of a home in Denver most recently is around $550,000. That's going to get you roughly a 2,000 square foot house on average. Again, depending
on where you
if
are.
you're in Denver, you're going to get a little smaller. If you push out to the suburbs, you're going to get a little more. Whereas if you are average price point of a home in Texas, you're looking at about $347. So that's a big jump, but Texas is vast, right? I mean,
Right.
that also includes all these little podunk towns in Texas.
Sure.
So if you're looking at Dallas, you're going to be at about, $490 roughly, according to some of the numbers we found online. So, again, it's indicative of where you're coming from, whether it's a small town Texas, big city Texas, and where you're going, whether it's small town Colorado
Yeah.
or big city Denver.
Okay, so as far as utilities go, that's one area we're going to save some money by moving to Colorado. So the average utility cost in Colorado is about $331, and the average in Texas is $402.
So, that saves you some money. One of the other big expenses that a lot of people have in their budget is childcare. Now, in Colorado, it's definitely going to be a little bit more for childcare here than it is in Texas. Our research found that you're going to spend about an average of $1,300 here, and in Texas, you're probably only paying around $800.
A month.
A
right?
month,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's can be a big thing, but if you're somebody that doesn't need childcare, then that's not a line item on your budget. Then
No big deal.
but otherwise, pretty much everything else, whether it's your cost of goods and services, your groceries, even gas, is fairly similar. So again, it depends, big city, small city, where you're at exactly, but overall, everything else is pretty moderately the same. So those are kind of your big differences in a month-by-month cost analysis of what it's going to cost you. But beyond the financial numbers, there are a lot of reasons why Colorado is a great place to move from Texas.
Traffic, I mean, in a city, like comparing Dallas to Denver. So yeah, Denver's traffic is not nearly as crazy and congested as Dallas.
Yeah.
I read a stat the other day, the average speed limit during rush hour in Denver is about 41 or 42 miles an hour. So, there's some points you're going 70, some points you're going 20, but on average it's 42 miles an hour.
Yeah, we don't typically have that super bogged down on a interstate rush hour. Yes, of course, if there's bad weather or if there's an accident, we do, but it's not like you see in those big cities. I've sat in Dallas traffic. It's really not fun. Like, we really just crept. I thought we are never going to get where we're going. So very rarely, I think, do we have that here in Colorado.
Agreed. The other great thing is the climate.
Yeah.
So we don't have humidity here. We're an arid, high desert, high plains, and then there's just not a lot of humidity. And with that, there's not a lot of bugs. So, which is awesome. So you'll find a lot of homes here that have those huge doors, and during the summertime you have like indoor outdoor living, and you have like a kitchen outside and maybe a fire pit and couches, and it's just a great place to entertain and hang out, and you're not being attacked by mosquitoes bugs.
We use air conditioning here. It gets hot in the summer, but you also have your many days where your windows are open, and actually that whole wall of those sliding glass doors. I just was in a house that had, we were looking at with some clients that had the whole entire back wall, the doors slid open, and it was basically like you had no wall in this house, with a huge deck off the back and complete mountain views. It was to die for. So that is something you can definitely do here in Colorado and enjoy, and a lot of people do. You get to live outside in the evenings in the summer. You might have to worry about an occasional mosquito, but
or flies and mosquitoes. That's pretty much it.
But no big flying bugs or cockroaches or things like that. So it's you really get that indoor outdoor living, and we've said this on many of our other videos that indoor outdoor living, Coloradans love their outdoor living. So it's hard to find a house that doesn't have a huge deck, a huge patio, a fire pit, a big barbecue area, because again, we take advantage of this arid climate we're in. And even in the winter, you can sit outside and have a nice day and have a drink on a patio.
It's February and it's 60 plus degrees outside right now, and I just walked in the house and I said we should be outside.
Exactly.
So gorgeous.
And again, barbecuing, we barbecue year round. Sometimes we're barbecuing in the snow. We don't sit outside and eat if that's the case, but you can still do it. You utilize your outdoor living spaces a big percentage of the year.
Yeah, definitely. I remember eating Thanksgiving dinner out on my back deck one year here and down in the Pinery in Parker, and it was just beautiful, and we were eating turkey, and I'm like, I didn't really realize, that this was going to be the climate, and it was awesome.
Yep. And then there's blizzards on Thanksgiving too.
Oh yeah.
But those melt. So we don't get those big ice storms that Texas gets. We do get snow, but we have over 300 days of sunshine here in a year. So where else can you go to get that?
Nowhere. We're the most sunniest place in the States for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so break away for just a minute. We wanted to introduce ourselves. I'm Cheryl Crown.
And I'm Michelle Wise.
And we're the Living in Denver, Colorado team here in Denver. And we are licensed real estate experts in Denver. So please contact us, call us, email us, text us. All our information is down below. And with that, let's just get back to it.
Yeah.
The other thing that is a difference between Texas and Colorado, there's not a lot of pools in people's backyards in Colorado. Although most communities that have an HOA, or several of them, it's a majority, I would say.
Especially the newer ones in the last 20 years.
Yep, exactly. They have community pools. So you save the expense of having your own pool, but you still get to,
And the headache of having your own pool.
Exactly, yes. Lots of hot tubs, though. People love their hot tubs in Colorado, on your back deck or on your patio or whatever it is, and a lot easier to maintain, and when it's snowing, it's pretty cool to get a hot tub.
Again, that outdoor living, and that kind of also leads into we have so many outdoor activities here. So whether it's spring, summer, fall, winter, there is something to do outside, and Coloradans love to do that. And I know, in Texas you have some good weather, but there's also periods of time, in the year that you can't go outside and do that, or you don't have the mountains to go to enjoy that. So again, Rocky Mountains are right in our backyard here. So regardless of what time of year it is, it's there and it's something to go do. and we love it.
Yes, we totally do. And when it's 100 degrees in the Denver metro area during the summer, you can head up to Evergreen or Breckenridge or Keystone or one of those places, and it's 70s. There's not a lot of air conditioning.
And honestly, we are not really like we have like a couple, maybe 1 or 2 days of 100 a year. Not like Texas.
No.
So
It's dry heat. It's like turn on your
so
oven to stick your head in.
and it's usually in the 90s. Like our hot days are 90s, you know. So we don't have that blazing, scorching, hot like you do in Texas.
And it gets cool at night. So
It always cools off at night.
Yep. So the sun goes down and you drop immediate 15 degrees, and then if you want to go out and walk the dog on a day when it's going to be super hot, you just do it first thing in the morning or last thing in the day.
Yeah,
exactly.
that is true. That is a really good point about it. And dogs, you mentioned dogs. Everybody in Colorado has a dog. Everybody. So there's dog patios, there's dog parks,
dog bars, dog restaurants.
Like you can go to some restaurants and they have menus for your dog. Like you can get your dog a hamburger patty.
Yeah.
So we love our dogs here. It's very dog friendly. So if you have a dog and you're thinking about it, this is the place for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so then probably the last thing just to kind of consider is our school systems here in Colorado. Texas, there are some great school districts in there, but as a whole, across the board in Colorado, especially in the Denver metro area, our schools are top notch. So depending on where specifically you're looking, there's multiple school districts within the Denver metro area, but pretty much all of them are high performing, high graduation rates, high college acceptance. A lot of them offer college credits so that you can graduate, your kids graduate, and they have college credit already in the bag to go to college. We have great sports here with our high school sports.
Oh yeah.
I know football is a big thing in Texas.
Yeah.
So, maybe there's only a handful of those caliber football programs here in Denver, but
hey, we did produce the McCaffreys.
We did.
Yeah, they went to a school just 20 minutes from here.
Yep. So, but yeah, it's not quite the same football vibe as Texas.
No.
I've been to Texas on a Friday night and seen the Friday night lights, and that's really something to experience. So kudos to you Texans for that, because that's pretty cool. But we do have our own version of Friday night lights here and all the other sports, and they're great. So if that's important to you for schools and your kids and whatnot, then we have top performing school districts here for sure.
Yep. So that's that. If you're thinking about making that move from Texas to Denver,
it's probably not as scary as you think it might be.
Absolutely not. And we're here to help you all the way. So you can call us, text us, email us. All our contact information is down below. And of course, as always, if there's anything you want to comment about, or if there's any other ideas you have for us for videos that you'd like to learn more about the Denver area, please drop a comment below.
Thanks.
All right. Share the love.